New information in a murder-for-hire case in Connecticut. Jury selection now underway for a woman accused of trying to hire a hitman to kill her ex-husband, with opening arguments set to begin December 2nd. Tiffany and Eric Stevens were in a bitter custody battle over their daughter. Prosecutors say Tiffany asked a maintenance man to kill her ex-husband in 2012. Police say he secretly taped her discussing the plot, and then he came forward. Tiffany's pleading not guilty, and she's out on bail and has sole custody of their daughter. Let's bring in our legal panel to talk about it. Rebecca Rose Woodland, trial attorney, and Esther Panich, criminal defense attorney. Good to see you both, ladies.
Good to see you.
All right, Rebecca, I'll start with you. There's so much here in this case, but the fact is, you have this maintenance man who said, you know, he came forward because she was asking him to kill her ex-husband, and he taped it. How do you think this is going to play with jurors? Because, you know, her folks are saying, or there's been some suggestion that, you know, she maybe had a drug problem, so she's not responsible for what she said, if indeed she said that.
Well, I mean, there's so many questions here. She's involved now in a criminal prosecution for that reason, that she allegedly got this maintenance worker, asked him, with giving him money, can you please go kill my husband, who I'm in a bitter custody battle with. Understand, the husband already had previous issues and he had a protective order against him. He was not allowed to see the child. She had primary custody of the child pending the divorce proceedings. So we have a case where a jury's going to look at this, but let's hear what the tape says. I mean, we have to see if she actually did ask for that or not. And it's beyond a reasonable doubt. So proof beyond a reasonable doubt that she hired this hitman. We don't know, we haven't heard yet what she actually said, if anything, to the hitman. And if that can be attributed, the voice could be attributed to the defendant.
Yeah, and Esther, he allegedly says that he taped it, she said it, that she gave him or was offering him $5,000. I mean, these are all allegations the jury will have to hear and decide. But in the meantime, we had this interesting point that she was able to bond out of jail rather quickly on $1 million bond. And so this entire time, she has also had sole custody of the daughter. You know, Rebecca referenced some of the trouble that the husband had been in, but does that strike you as that's just the way the legal system works? Even if she was on tape, if she did say those words, and she did try to hire someone to kill her ex-husband, that's all going to be debated in court. But in the meantime, she still has their daughter, and he has not been allowed to see her.
Well, that begs the question, which is the worst parent here? I mean, you have a woman whose own defense may be that she was too drunk or stoned to give an order for a hitman. And then you have this man who violated the protective order, the father who violated the protective order and tried to buy a gun not in the legal course. So you have these two not great parents, and it's up to the family law judge to decide who should have temporary custody. Now, the wife is presumed innocent. These are allegations. We don't know until the trial happens. I suspect if she is convicted and put away, that the judge needs to then look at what's in the best interest of this child, who the child should be with. It is entirely possible that a third party may get primary custody over this child, whether it be a relative or someone else, if the father is deemed to be unfit. So this is generally, in my practice at least, where criminal and family court combine. And so it makes for very interesting, although very tragic cases. Because at the end of the day, you have this child who is left with two bad parents, possibly one in jail. Yeah, and you know, what is the court to do at that point? They have to look out for the best interest of this child.
Of course, and that has to be the priority for all of these proceedings. But I think that we have some of the audio that the jury may hear. So we'll play that and get your reaction.
You go to the electric chair when you're hired to kill someone.
Let me just tell you something.
When you're hired to murder somebody, you need the electric chair.
Let me just do it.
Okay.
Please. When?
Soon.
How many minutes?
Soon.
Okay, so allegedly that's her voice saying, I just want you to do it. The maintenance man saying, you get the electric chair if you kill somebody, and her saying, just do it. Well, Rebecca, what would you do if that's your client and the jury hears it?
Okay, well, first of all, she didn't say, nowhere on the tape and the audible we heard did she say kill him. She's saying just do it. There's a very large distinction between just do it and kill my husband. There could be a time lapse in that tape. Those could be words that were taken out of context. He could have said that to her, not even said it to her. That's where you have experts come in and determine whether or not the tape has been tampered with. There's no point in what we heard where she said, just kill him. Just do it could have meant, just fix my lawn, fix something else. And there could have been a problem in the tape or someone tampering with the tape and changing the way in the course of the conversation. That would be a defendant's obligation. The defense has an obligation then to bring in experts to refute that tape. So far, she hasn't made a full-on admission and demanded he kill the husband in what we just heard.
Esther, how much will the maintenance man's testimony, if they put him on the stand, influence or impact the jury potentially if he says, here's what was said, here's what I recorded, this is what she asked me to do?
It will be very important because, as Rebecca said, we don't know if this is the entire tape. We don't know the type of conversations that they regularly had, if they did at all. We don't know who may have put him up to taping this, or so we don't know we don't know the context yet. We need more context, and the only way we'll get that is from the mechanic's testimony. Because, of course, the woman on trial has no burden to take the stand and is constitutionally protected if she chooses not to testify.
That's right.
So, we need to see more. We just don't know enough yet. And especially if the ex-husband was involved at all of putting the maintenance man up to this, he's kind of a shady character too. So we just don't know enough, but I'm sure we will find out pretty soon.
Well, that jury trial starts, we're told, the first week of December. We'll keep a close eye on it. Esther and Rebecca, good to see you both.
Good to see you.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.